Scott, thank you, and welcome everyone to 2011. I think a year ago we had the opportunity to talk with you from the hotel, and certainly tonight it's a real thrill to have everyone here at Penske Racing. Some of you have been here before, but this was a vision of mine and Tim Cindric to consolidate our race teams under one roof, and I think that we've seen the success over the last 3 or 4 years, and obviously it's an opportunity to cross-pollinize our people, move them from one area to the other within the sport, and again, I think it's certainly proven to be beneficial. So welcome to Penske Racing, and hopefully as we go into 2011, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better because the economy certainly is stronger. We see that in our businesses. I feel the president is thinking about jobs, and that's the most important thing for all of us. Our job tonight is to talk about racing. The job of these drivers is to drive these cars, and certainly the crews and the crew chiefs to work on them. So tonight, as you know, it's important that we communicate our 2011 plans from the standpoint of Penske Racing on the NASCAR side. I want to welcome all the media and also the many sponsors that are here with us tonight for our annual media dinner, and again, thank you for coming. As you know, sponsors are the backbone of our sport. I tell our guys that's the fuel that goes in our engines. Without sponsors, we really won't be successful. We won't be able to put these cars on the track. Someone told me, maybe it was Dale Earnhardt, told me a long time ago, he said, speed costs money, how fast do you want to go? So again, without sponsors, we can't get that speed that we need to go. So tonight, I just want to thank our folks from Shell that are here tonight, Heidi Massey-Bong and Sam for coming here tonight to support us. Sam Zebian and Hillary Johnson are here from Miller Coors. John McQueen from AAA, Brad Jacobus from Ruby Tuesday, Paul Sharp, Kevin Fournier for coming from Discount Tire. And obviously, guys, we certainly appreciate the continued support. And I think continuity is so important. When you look at these sponsors that we've had, many of these we've had for over 20 years, and I think that's important, that continued continuity with the sport, and also we've been fortunate to have them stick with our team during some tough times. But also we're going to have some new partners we're going to talk about tonight that are very important to us, and we'll highlight those later in the program. Let's talk a little bit about 2010. 9 wins on the NASCAR side, All-Star race win, 10 poles, and a NASCAR championship. And I just want to thank, obviously, Sam, Brad, and Kurt for a great 2010 season. I think we peaked at the right time in Nationwide, but I think if Kurt and I were honest tonight, we said, we don't know what happened. We had good momentum, and we tended to go down the slide instead of going up maybe where we should have been at the end of the year as we got into the chase. But again, making the chase last year and then having a competitive Nationwide car was very important to us, and I think that we did both of those. But obviously, we're here tonight, and we're here for the future this year to be up on that stage. Obviously, as we go into 2011, we've made a number of changes, and it's even hard for me to think about Brad's in the 2-car. In fact, Steve Addington said he was down at Daytona, and he saw a bunch of press around which he thought was Kurt, but it was really around Brad because he was in the Miller Lite outfit. So again, I guess we'll mix it up. Maybe you go to the wrong car sometimes, Steve. That's okay. If you got a good idea, I'm sure they'd like to talk to you. But again, Kurt in the 22. The last time I remember a 22 running, I think it was Ward Burton running that Caterpillar car. Am I right? I think he ran that a number of years ago. So we're really excited to have the Shell Pennzoil car at 22. And then Sam will be with Alliance Truck Parts, a great partner of ours through our Freightliner relationship and our heavy-duty trucking background. Will be with Sam in our Nationwide series. Crew chiefs, as we go into 2011, consistency, which I think is important. Obviously, as we went into 2010, Steve Addington came on board. He filled a very important spot to us and obviously gave us good continuity and some wins during 2011. We've taken Paul Wolf and elevated him. He was the crew chief, the winner with Brad of the Nationwide Championship, and he earned the opportunity to move up. In fact, when we hired him, he said his goal was obviously to be consistent run and win in the nationwide side, but his goal was obviously to become a major crew chief on the Cup side. And Paul, congratulations on the job you did last year. And again, we're looking for big things as we go into 2011. We also brought in Todd Gordon. Todd Gordon will be the crew chief for Brad in the nationwide. He worked in the engineering area with another team. He had served as a crew chief in the nationwide series, and obviously will be a big help to us as we go forward. Chad Walter, who has been with us now for a couple of years with Justin Allgaier. They had a great season last year, and he will be the crew chief on the nationwide car that Sam will drive for Alliance Truck Parts. So again, Chad, I know where you're at. I saw you out there earlier tonight. Good luck with your guys, obviously. Other personnel changes during this upcoming season. We added a new position called Director of Competition. And Director of Competition will be Travis Geisler. You know, Travis has been with us a number of years, came here as an engineer, had some driving background. His family were racers, and I think that he brings in that connection between the crew chiefs, the engineering, and the head office. He's the one that's really there to work for the drivers and the crew chiefs to be sure that we get that continuity, that communication, because with so many things going on a day-to-day basis, we got to be sure we're connected at the ground level, and I think that's going to make a huge difference for us. We've seen it work already. I think some feedback from Kurt, obviously, and from Brad say, hey, this is working out well. And it then gives Mike Nelson, who heads up our NASCAR program, to deal with some of the admin things that we have from us with NASCAR, with our sponsors and other things. Mike obviously will be involved in that and part of the strategic direction of our team. One thing we did is we downsized from 3 teams this past year. We decided that we would not take anything out of our engineering area because we think that as you look at these cars and the fans, they say, these are pretty simple. But when you get into the detail of how do you go fast and how to be able to beat that 48 car, that Hendricks team, and we've got to have the technical capability within the organization. So what we've done, we've added additional engineering capability to each one of our crews, which we think will be very beneficial as we go forward next year. And I think that that's going to be key. Also, as we're starting to look more as one team, we've also consolidated some of the build processes. If you look behind you, we have a room where we do all our transmissions and axles. We do all our tire work on the side to my right. And then we have other areas in the shop where we've consolidated. So I think that as we go forward, you know, this combination and trying to run as one team will be very important to us as we go forward. Parker Kligerman is here tonight. Parker will be running 10 races with Brad in his truck. Brad's going to find out what it's like to be a car owner, but we'll talk about that about halfway through the season and see what you think about it. But Parker, we're looking forward to having you in that seat, and we thank you for the work you did last year. So that's a quick update on our team. Obviously, Sam in the nationwide along with Brad and Kurt on the Cup side, and we're excited about our sponsor team. I think when you look at our cars, and they're probably as good as I've ever seen the layouts, the paint schemes, it's so important. I want to thank Sasha Soares and the team that has worked so hard to put these cars together to represent the brands, the international brands that we have on our cars this year. And again, I want to thank Ruby Tuesday for the food. Let's give them a big hand for tonight. These are the ones that feed our team in and out. I think I told this story at the Nationwide banquet. Maybe I did, maybe I forgot. But I remember we were trying to get Ruby Tuesday on board, and we had been talking to Brad about it. And he was in the Detroit airport, and he saw a Ruby Tuesday store there, and he had a guy take his picture, and he sent that to the marketing guy. So any more out here that you see, we can use some more sponsors. So again, thanks for doing that. But let me at this time introduce Walt Zarnicki, who's been my partner, you know, for many, many years, and he'll talk a little bit more about our program. But again, I'll talk to you a little later. Thank you.